That's really happy.
Yeah, really, really pleasing. As I said, post-game for us, I thought that was a trap game for us. Trying to come off the Bendigo game, obviously there's a natural lull. Getting yourself up for a 1v2 game and then playing another game very shortly after was a concern. The Christmas being at home, like it's awesome now that we're at home, we're so close back to family. But the whole week, for the whole 3 or 4 days for us, was everyone else around us is in party mode and we're trying to be locked into work. And then obviously the new arena, like we literally moved in this morning. So our first time seeing the court was today. So it had all the elements of this might go really bad for us. So really, really pleased the girls stuck with it and showed the mental strength to get through it.
You had 5 steals in the first quarter, which showed that you were pretty on. Like, you must have been happy with the way they approached that start.
Yeah, love. Mike did a really good job with the scout. We had a pretty clear plan with how we wanted to guard them. And it got us out and running, which, again, for some reason we just can't hit the side of a barn right now from 3, but we've still found a way to score 96. So the ability to find other ways to score with LA playing 13 minutes and only making 8 threes, yeah, we still get to 96. So not our best game offensively, but I mean, we scored 96, so we'll take that.
So you're finding different ways to win, different ways to score through different people as well, starring in different games. You feel your depth is really showing out at the moment. You're not relying on one or two.
Yeah, 100%. As I said to the coaching staff post-game, it's actually really hard to coach because you're not sure what your best combination is on any night. Like we went to Mac against Bendigo and Rishi really helped us change the game. Tonight, Tage came in off the bench and did a really good job. So we're never quite sure who's who on any given night. But there's 9 or 10 girls we really trust right now. So they're really, really good problems to have. And yeah, you're right, the depth has been great. Like, again, there's always pros and cons. There's pros and cons with injuries. Clearly, we would have loved to have had Amy early in the season, but it forced us to play other players. And they've gotten into a groove and now I can kind of ease her back in a little bit. And that's helped add to our depth.
And Tage hasn't really had many opportunities to shine
no.
this year, and she was crook the other day, and to come out and do what she did tonight. She was gassed at different points, like she was still a bit crook. That was really important for her.
Yeah, she was terrific. She was really, really good tonight. Again, like certain matchups will be great for her, certain matchups will be great for LA, certain matchups will be great for Mackenzie Hoycard. Again, that kind of goes back to the depth, and like we can play different styles because our personnel is very different. And that lets us play a different style each week almost, depending on whoever the opponent is.
You look like you're finding your feet again and getting the fitness looks like it's rebuilding it all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest issue with just loading and coming back in and being cleared to play. I hadn't had a bunch of like match fitness, and that was definitely something for me. And yeah, it feels good to be back out there and still kind of improving every day and every game. So it's nice to kind of get some rhythm back and get some wind in the lungs.
Looks like you're also more prepared to change direction quickly now. When did you start to feel confident that it was going to hold up for you?
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I mean, I think I've had a lot of knee injuries in the past, so I think that's obviously always going to play in the back of my head, especially coming back from that one early preseason. But I think it was just going to take like game reps. As much as we train and don't train during this part of the season, it's not quite the same intensity and physicality. So I think it was always just going to come back with games. And this last 2 games, I've definitely felt better moving out there, and I think it'll continue to get better and better.
So having had a Rico, does it play on your mind when you hurt your knee and miss an extended period like that?
I mean, a little bit, but it's like, it's sports. You're going to get injured. I've been through a few knee surgeries and stuff and injuries before. So like, I've kind of dealt with the mental part of it, and like, yes, there is still some challenges, but it's kind of like, it's one of those things where like, anyone could go out there on any given day and get injured. Like, there's a risk to playing professional sports and a lot of sports, so it's no point kind of worrying about that. Like, it's going to play on my mind a little bit, but as much as I can push that to the side, I think I'm just going to play better and better out there.
And when the ball starts going through the hole like tonight, that's always a nice feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely nice to see something go through the hole.
Has that been? Were you able to do much shooting at all while you were out, or is that something you've been able to maintain, or is it something you've had to work on because you weren't able to do a lot?
Yeah, I've definitely tried to get some more up this past week, but it was very much kind of managing my load and like easing me back into things. So it was tough at the start because I felt like I was coming back and cleared to play, but I hadn't had a bunch of reps and stuff like that just because of the load, because of my injury. It's nice to get it feeling a bit better and hopefully keep building up into getting more shots up and stuff like that outside of training times.
I was going to ask you to say you in that sort of form?
Yeah, 100%. And as we said earlier, we try to hold it back a little bit as well. I know you were desperate to play about a week earlier before we finally let her play. But as we said a couple of months ago, you can't win it in November and December, but you can lose it. So again, careful as long as we can. Our record gave us a bit of a luxury, so we didn't need to rush it back with where we were in the plus minus. So we could pace her back into the season. And you're right, she's right in terms of she wasn't able to get up a lot of cardio and stuff. So again, first hit the court again, hadn't got a lot of reps. And our schedule's been crazy. I think we lead the league right now in games played, and it's just been a crazy schedule. Feels like we play every 3 or 4 days. So I haven't had a lot of chance to actually get quality reps at practice. But yeah, certainly we're a different team when she's healthy and she's in the court.
How did you find the venue?
Fantastic. Elite. As I said, we only got in this morning. So everything's 1% out everywhere, but it's so good. And it will be really, really good. We'll spend the next, I think we travel again. So I think we get 2 training sessions and then we go on the road again. But we'll get a week here when we come back and just organise some things, tweak some things like picking the side of the bench and which change room you're in. It's just little tiny things everywhere. But clearly you can see it's a pro venue. The LEDs down both ends are really good, or the screens. The fact you can light the court and darken the rest, as the coaching staff are talking about, feels like a Knicks or Lakers venue. Obviously a much smaller capacity version of it, but the stage lighting, anytime you can find a basketball court that's lit and the crowd is dark, it just looks so much better. So we love it.
How did you find playing it?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, Ryan kind of hit the nail on the head. Me and Steph joked pre-game about when they were doing the call-outs, it was we feel like a professional team now. Not that we haven't before, and Bendar's been a great venue. But yeah, just the enclosure and the lighting and all this, and all the 1%ers. Yeah, it felt great to be out there, and yeah.
You've been to some fairly good venues lately as well.
Yeah.
You've seen around the world, and Olympics and WNBA and stuff. So does this feel a bit more like that to you?
Yeah, definitely. I think it creates a better atmosphere with that, the lighting and stuff like that too. Obviously, yeah, it's not as big as some of the other venues, but it definitely has that feel where you light up the court and the spectators are all there watching. Yeah, definitely a great feel.
Did it feel louder?
It did feel louder. Yeah, definitely.